Hi guys, welcome to my review for Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 1, The End is the Beginning. So what did I think about this episode? This was actually pretty good. I give it a 8.5 out of 10, honestly, because yeah, it was pretty good. So yeah, the beginning of the episode starts out, we have this guy spray painting some kind of like wall or boat looking thing. We have a walker walking towards him, and he's all like, gross looking. And it's pretty obvious the guy's spelling out the end, and so yeah, he is spelling it out. Not sure why. And then we get so it's nighttime, and we see the bounty hunter, and he is cooking himself some beans and putting stuff in it. He hears something in the woods, and his name is actually Emile. So yeah. Anyway, he hears something in the woods, and he asks who's out there, and we hear a dog, and a guy runs from the woods, and he says that he's being chased, and he asks for help, and Emile, the bounty hunter, he acts pretty friendly towards this guy, and he finds out that his name is Walter, which causes him to smile, and he asks if he's hungry, and he, gives him some beans to eat. So, yeah, it turns out that, he's just talking about, like, beans and stuff and all that, it's not too important, but we notice the guy Walter has this key, which is going to be important later. So, anyway, the dog comes back, its name's Rufus, and he tells Walter that it's actually his dog, and he proceeds to chop off Walter's head off with, an axe. And yeah, I mean, just whoa, what a way to start the season 6 premiere. He puts Walter's head in a box, literally, and writes down his name. And yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. He gets a call from Virginia, and she says she wants him to find Morgan Jones, which he marks the box for. And yeah, after that, we get the intro scene with Emile and his dog, Rufus. And so, yeah, it's a pretty good intro. I'll admit, this was pretty good. So after that, we actually have Morgan. So the first thing we actually see is Morgan. He opens his eye, he wakes up, his eye is red, and, he's got bigger beard and stuff. We have a walker who almost notices him in the limo, but it gets shot and the glass explodes, but, from Virginia's people, but they don't see him. So Morgan goes outside of the limo, and he comes across a walker, and it's weird. The walker does not bite him. So this part, I don't know, is still kind of weird to me because, like, I'm not sure what the reason for it did. Like, yes, Morgan kind of has gangrene, which is like dead skin like disease, but still, it's kind of weird. But the walker does notice him because he, gets his attention and he kills it. After that, Morgan goes to a water tower, which I wasn't sure of. But yeah, Morgan is seriously struggling. He pretty much cannot use his, left arm at all, or, his left hand. And anyway, so yeah, he has this like base in this, water tower, pretty secret, there's mattresses everywhere. And we get the sense that there has been a time skip, and Morgan, we later find out it has been like 5 or 6 weeks, I think that's what Morgan says. So anyway, Morgan goes to town after that, and he notices a damaged police car, and he looks inside, and he's able to find a gun, although it's empty. So after that, Morgan notices, a baby crib, with the thing, with horses and stuff. But some walkers, start to notice him, and he tries to get a stick, but he collapses on the street. And we think that the walkers are going to get him, but actually the walkers go past him. But then we see a new survivor. His name's Isaac, and he starts killing the walkers. Pretty amazing, I might say. But yeah, he almost stabs Morgan, but Morgan, tells him that he's alive, and the guy is actually pretty surprised, So Isaac brings Morgan back inside, and he, tries to ask him some questions, and we find out a little bit about Isaac, like he was in the military, and he has a wife and all that. And Morgan doesn't really want anything to do with him, just because, Morgan kind of believes he's bad luck, but he also doesn't want to get attached to anyone. And yeah, the guy even mentions that Morgan has like gangrene, so like that could be an issue why the walkers are not paying attention to him. But anyway, it turns out Rufus, the dog from earlier, has found Morgan, or at least his trail, and we see that Emile is here. He is looking for Morgan. So yeah, the guy Isaac goes outside to buy Morgan some time, and Emile is, I'm not sure how he got the drawing, but anyway, he asks Isaac if he saw Morgan, and Isaac doesn't sell out Morgan, which is pretty like amazing for a minor character to do. But yeah, so he lies to Emile, and just but Emile still wants to check out the inside of the store, and he does go inside, and it's a little bit tense, but Morgan is able to get out through the back. And yeah, so that is pretty interesting. And after that, Isaac is killing some walkers. He's trying to look for Morgan, and he sees that he has collapsed in the back of the street. So, anyways, oh yeah, and we get also this viewer discretion is advised, thing that happens. And so anyway, Isaac brings Morgan back to his hideout, and apparently like he knew it because Morgan wrote Morse code on his bag. Not sure where Morgan learned Morse code, but anyway, Morgan gives Isaac a gun to go back to his wife and help her out because she's pregnant but also trapped. But Morgan, Isaac knows his name, so he's wondering how that happened, and then Isaac pulls a gun at him because he needs his help to get back to his wife, but that's cut short because Emile he's bringing down the water tower with his truck, like a chain and stuff. So yeah, the water tower unfortunately goes down, and yeah, I mean this. So anyways, after that, Emile is like tracking. He's found them, and the characters are just starting to wake up. I suppose they're noticing that he's found them, and he is gonna catch Morgan. So anyways, after that, we have Isaac who is killing more walkers. It seems, man, this is like a constant thing with his characters. So I don't know, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, Emile is slowly walking towards Morgan, I might say. Very slowly, I might add. But Morgan pulls a gun on him. And even though Morgan could, shoot him in the head, we see that Morgan does hesitate a little bit and then just shoot him in the arm. This is kind of weird because, like, Emile doesn't, like, he doesn't have that injury anymore, you know what I mean? Like the shot arm. But anyway, Isaac and Morgan, they decide to, make a run for it and steal the bounty hunter's truck. I'm just gonna say, yeah, Emile's. So anyway, they go to his truck and they take it, and yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So anyways, after that, they take his truck, and as they're driving off, they unfortunately have to stop in the middle of the woods because they can't, they have to go around with some trees, and Isaac is trying to convince Morgan, about, I guess, like helping him and not giving up because Morgan wants to go back to the hideout because he mentions how he didn't stitch himself up, that someone saved him in the season 5 finale. But I mean, we pretty much know it's Sherry, but anyway, he wants to go back, maybe because that person might still be there, but yeah, so he does give Isaac the note that he found when he woke up. So yeah, anyways, so Isaac is doing his best, and he basically convinces Morgan that you help me with my family and I will help you with yours, kind of thing. So yeah, that is pretty interesting. So anyways, after that, they are still talking, and they decide to do Morgan decides to do what Isaac says. They're walking, and Isaac, he asked about the other characters like John and Alicia because he mentions that he saw the tapes, but then Morgan wonders how he knows about Janie, and we find out that Isaac was part of her kind of lieutenants or like rangers, but he left because he didn't want to live like that anymore with his wife and unborn child. He didn't want to put his child to pay high prices that like Virginia set. So anyways, the characters Morgan and Isaac, they managed to find his hideout, where his wife is, and she's past the dam, and there's a bunch of walkers, like blocking the opening, so that's kind of why they have to go through it. A small issue here, I don't understand why they can't just use the guts trick, because Isaac says that it has to be Morgan that does it, you know what I mean, because he can go through the walkers, but that is still weird to me, and plus they should be able to, do the guts trick, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird. So anyways, Morgan is going through the walkers, and yeah, they are like kind of noticing him, but like not really. But then Morgan collapses, and while he's trying to get back up, unfortunately he does, make some noise, and one of the walkers behind him, notices and turns around. And obviously we knew that Morgan was not going to die. I mean, Morgan was really close to getting bit. I mean, it's just absolutely, I mean, it's a little crazy, but we knew he wasn't going to die. You know what I mean? Just like that wasn't how his character was going to end. So anyways, after that, we have him almost getting bitten, but Isaac saves him. He, uses one of the last bullet that he had, to save Morgan's life. And even though Isaac is like leading the walkers away, Morgan decides he cannot let him do that. So Morgan gets the other half of the walkers to his attention, even though he is very injured. I mean, Morgan cannot even really like stand up, but I mean, whatever. It's plot, I guess. So anyway, they're killing walkers like crazy. A little bit of an issue here. Like Morgan is stabbing the walkers in the like mouth area, and like the brain is not there. So I'm not sure how that works. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to killing walkers. But this was still a pretty good scene. I mean, like Morgan and Isaac really handled themselves here, and it's just crazy. But like, you know what I mean? Like Isaac, we've never really seen like a minor character that get introduced. You know what I mean? And then just be able to handle walkers like this. I don't think we've ever had that before. I mean, if you guys think I'm wrong, please let me know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels fresh. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we have Morgan, and Morgan stabs another walker in the neck. Like, I don't know if they thought about that, but yeah, it should be a mistake. But anyway, Isaac is killing even more walkers, and there are tons of them, but they actually managed to kill every single walker without getting bitten. It is pretty crazy. You know what I mean? There were tons of them. I mean, we just see here, I mean, there was like, I don't know, at least like 30, you know what I mean? Like just 30 walkers, a small herd. So anyway, Isaac shows Morgan where there used to be actually like a bunch of water here, but it all like dried up, I suppose. And they start to hear a woman screaming, and obviously like Isaac mentioned earlier that it was his wife, Rachel, which is pretty interesting. She is like 8 months pregnant, and she has been having contractions. So Morgan, sees her, and I guess they meet. So yeah. Anyways, it's nighttime, and Isaac says that maybe they can make this place a home, but Morgan doesn't think so, and I kind of think so too. There's got to be a better place. But suddenly they hear Rufus, the dog, howling or barking, I guess, and we see that once again the bounty hunter Emile has found him, but Morgan decides to give himself up and kind of like surrender. He asks, Emile to not, just let these people go, and I'll go with you. And I mean, we all knew it. Morgan was not going to die here, but it was still pretty nice that Morgan decided to make a selfless decision here. But we have it's crazy. So we have Isaac who attacks the bounty hunter, and Morgan decides to help him so that he won't get killed. And yeah, I mean, they're fighting it out, and the bounty hunter goes down, he gets knocked out, and we find out that Isaac was actually bitten even before he met Morgan. But the bounty hunter comes back, and he's fighting them both. He knocks out Isaac, and then he injures Morgan's shoulder, and it's like, what I mean, like, it's like a cheat move where he's just putting his finger, but Morgan is able to stop him from chopping his head off. And Morgan uses his stick, and he gets the upper hand. I mean, he's able to knock down Emile. And so yeah, anyways, after that, Morgan, I don't know how he has the strength to do this, but anyways, Morgan is able to take down the bounty hunter and stab him through the chest. And when he had the axe, I mean, we were all waiting for it. We were like, Morgan, do it. This, like, I was really hoping that Fear was going to go this route, and they actually did it. I mean, that's crazy. Morgan, like, I don't think he's killed since season 4, you know what I mean? Or since season 8 of The Walking Dead. But yeah, they hear the baby crying, so the baby was born, and Morgan passes out. But then he wakes up, and it's the next morning, and Morgan is talking to Rachel, and we find out that the baby is a girl. And Morgan tries to ask what happened to Isaac, but unfortunately he, I guess, passed away in the night. So that is pretty sad. It's kind of sad that he died off screen, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, so I guess like Rachel buried him with a bunch of rocks. I'm not sure if Rachel is going to make another reappearance in the season, but anyway, Morgan looks at the bounty hunter's body, and he notices a key, and that's the key from earlier. So Morgan decides to, pick it up, and honestly, there are probably lots of theories about what this key can possibly do, and honestly, I really don't know. I'm trying to blank for what this key can do. But Morgan sees a walker coming, and he's about to kill it with a stick. But after that, he starts looking at it and decides instead to take the bounty hunter's axe, which I loved it. I loved it so much. Like, goodbye, the stick is gone forever. We have a new Morgan now, and I cannot wait. Like, honestly, like, this is even though it was a Morgan bottle episode, it was great. So anyway, Virginia and her people, there's a road blockade, and the characters, they're Virginia's people are, I guess, on their toes. And after that, we see that Virginia exit in absolutely ugly boots, but there's a box in the middle of the dead walkers, so she walks towards it. And it's pretty funny because it's still, the box says Morgan Jones, so she thinks that it's Morgan in the box, like, what I mean, his head. and we all knew it was coming. And I have to admit, this was such a well done scene, and I mean, just the fact that the box says Morgan Jones, it's moving, there's a walker's head in it, but we all know whose head is actually in it. So Virginia is slowly opening the box, and after she opens the box, we see that it is the bounty hunter, Emile, not Morgan. I mean, just what a reverse card that Morgan pulled on her. I mean, just the look on Virginia's face. I loved it. We all loved it. I cannot wait. Like, we're all waiting the next time for it to be her head. You know what I mean? She was kind of laughing, which I don't know, that was kind of weird. Didn't really make much sense. But anyway, Virginia is on the radio and she's talking to Morgan about how she will threaten, his people. But we get this awesome line from Morgan where he's like, Morgan Jones is dead. You know what I mean? You're dealing with someone else now. Like, the look of fear on Virginia's face is just amazing. I loved it so much. I'm so glad that we're done with pacifist Morgan. Like, you know what I mean? We have a new Morgan now, and it's not clear Morgan, but it's not pacifist Morgan. And this is exactly what we wanted, We wanted a new Morgan, and it looks like he is going to be fighting Virginia and her people to get back his people. Anyway, we see the scene from the beginning of the episode earlier. The guy is spray painting this, wall thing, and the walker attacks him, but he kills it. So anyways, after he kills the walker, some guy, probably his brother or something, he says that they should have been here by now. We can't wait any longer. There's going to be more of them. So, but then the guy says that we need that key. So it's very possible these guys put the bounty on Walter, and who knows what this is. But we see the writing, the spray paint, and it says the end is the beginning. So that's pretty interesting. It was the title of the episode. So I'm not sure why they spray paint that. That's a little bit of a small nitpick, I guess. And then we see that it's not actually a wall, but it is a submarine. At least I think that is a submarine. But yeah, it is crazy. So anyway, yeah, that's it. The episode ends. And what can I say about this episode, guys? I mean, even though it was a bottle episode, it was still amazing. I actually cannot wait for episode 2. You know what I mean? We're going to get a new Morgan. So anyways, so it looks like, so we get a sneak peek of episode 2. And we have Virginia saying, like, we all want the same thing. You know what I mean? Safety. It's possible she's going to try and turn the town against Morgan to try and have them find him and fight him. We have Alicia and Strand looking around the town, and we're going to see, it from their perspective. We have some, people doing things and, some people waving at them. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And we have this, crazy scene where someone went into barbed wire and might have been eaten. Like, that's just brutal. We have some people wearing the creepy mask. Looks like someone's pointing a gun at them. I'm not sure if one of them's Sherry. It's possible. We'll have to see. And it looks like Wes is being tortured. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. We have Dwight here. It looks like he's protecting Althea. And, yeah, I'm not sure what he's protecting her from. We have, Morgan saying that he needs to get back his people from Virginia, from the communities. And I don't know who he's talking to, but Alicia says how. You know what I mean? In this scene. So, I don't know if he's talking to her, but, it's pretty cool. I can't wait to see Alicia. She's my favorite character. We have some gnarly looking walkers here. I mean, just creepy. I mean, man, these walkers look so disturbing. So anyways, we have a girl getting pulled by some walkers. I don't know if it's Alicia. It kind of looks like her, so it's hard to tell, honestly. And we have we have someone saying there's not much time, and Strand says we have enough. So I cannot wait to see how they fight back against Virginia. And we have Morgan using his axe, and he is fighting people, most likely Virginia's people. So yeah, I cannot wait to see a new Morgan. We have, looks like the oil rigs exploding. So that is pretty interesting. And after that, we have Morgan looking at his key, and he's like asking, what do you unlock? So he probably killed those people, and now is wondering, like, why did they want the key so bad? So yeah, guys, that's it for my review of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. Episode 1, the end is the beginning. Please let me know what you thought of this episode down below. And until next time, guys, take care. Bye.